I'm back again. I made it. Thank you all for your encouragement, your love, your care, your prayers about my husband. You guys have no idea. That's like, I don't know, very special, but thank you so much. He continues to improve. He has ups and he has downs, which that's what we were told to expect. Actually, one doctor said it's like the layers of an onion, the healing process. You know, you kind of get through one layer and then all of a sudden you might take a dip, you know, as you peel back that next layer, and it kind of reveals things. So anyway, he continues to improve. Overall, good trajectory, definitely ups and downs, but your prayers and your concern are just very, very touching to me. Thank you guys very much. So another video, I have my tea with me today. So another video today, we are going to do some meal prep because you guys know I've always been a huge proponent of meal prep for success, right? You know, present self takes care of future self, and then future self is so happy because she doesn't have to make decisions on busy days and craziness. So today, I'm actually gonna prep a carrot cake oatmeal. It's an overnight oat recipe, so there's no cooking involved. We're just gonna put it all together. In this container here, I'm gonna hope and pray that it all fits into these 2 cups. If not, I don't know, we'll wing it when we get there. You know, I kind of just go by the seat of my pants here. So we are going to just throw this together all in here and then make it happen. So yes, carrot cake oatmeal for the win. All right, here we go. So we need 7 1/4 ounces of coconut milk, which I think technically you could use like the canned coconut milk with all the extra fat. I am not going to, I don't have a can of that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my silk coconut milk. And it does call for that by ounces, so let me grab my scale, we can weigh it out. I don't have one of these handy dandy scales. They really are a huge benefit in the kitchen. I don't weigh everything, but sometimes you do need to weigh things, and it sure is handy when you need to. So I have ounces on, so we're going for 7-ish ounces of liquid. We're at 5.5, 6.5. Okay, 7-ish. I'm going for ish and not perfection. Okay, so milk is in our container. The next thing that this recipe calls for is a 1/2 cup. So you remember my vintage Tupperwares? So funny. I love these things, you guys. So 1/2 cup of rolled oats is going to go in next. And did I tell you guys in the last video? I thought I did. I ran out of oats. So weird. I even told one of my kids I ran out of oats, and they were like, wow, you ran out of oats? Because when they were growing up, I used to buy 25-pound bags of oats, so they are not used to anyone running out of oats. So I did a Costco run. I picked up this oats. I buy 1 degree frequently. I don't always buy it from Azure, but I do buy it when I have to get it local, which isn't very often. But it's great because it's sprouted, so kind of takes all that extra work of, if you wanted to soak your oats, takes all the extra work of that out. All right, and then next we are looking at, and I will write this recipe below, you guys, so don't worry, you don't have to like quickly, furiously write and figure out what I'm doing, but we're gonna put in a tablespoon of chia seeds into this guy. And then, get those last guys out of there, 1/2 teaspoon, which we'll pull this one out, of vanilla extract. This is the one I buy from Azure. It's so lovely. So absolutely lovely. So we're gonna put in a 1/2 teaspoon. Well, there again is my ish. That was maybe a little bit more, that's okay. And then salt to taste. I forgot my salt. Okay, so just a couple pinches of salt. And then we need maple syrup. So we're gonna put in a tablespoon of maple syrup to sweeten this, because if you haven't been following along or you haven't seen my other videos, I'm trying to use more nutritive sweeteners when I do use sweetener. Because I really felt like using the non-nutritive ones was, I don't know how to put it exactly, but creating a bit of a craving conundrum for me. Like, I was enjoying the sweet flavors, but my brain was like not to be tricked any further, and it knew that I wasn't being legit. And so I've decided I'm gonna try to add in some nutritive sweetener. So I'm only using honey, maple syrup, and coconut sugar right now because they do have nutrients in them. So that's kind of my goal. And then we're gonna add in 1 grated carrot. And so we're just gonna do that together right here. I already washed this guy, so he's not like dirty or anything. Sorry, this is a little bit noisy. So yeah, anyway, I'm still on my kick of really whole foods, making everything, most everything from scratch, trying to limit the number of processed foods that I'm eating, and just focusing on really good health right now. That's kind of my goal. So anyway, yeah, so I'm making this so that I have breakfast for the next couple of days. Today's Wednesday, so I'll have breakfast for Thursday and Friday. We are gearing up, you guys. We are gearing up for a trip. And I'll take you along my trip as much as I'm able to. But my family and I are headed to Mexico in about 3 weeks. And so kind of my whole life focus right now is prep. Everything's prep. How do I get ready for this trip? How do I prepare for what we might need down there? What things do we need that I don't know we need? Which if you've traveled to Mexico and you all have good tips, please leave them for me. This is my very first trip ever to Mexico, and I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am. Originally, I was supposed to stay for an extended trip, but after a lot of prayer and discussion and planning, we just determined that it was not the right time, sadly. But in the future, I do have hopes to go back and spend, my goal would be probably a couple of months, kind of see how it rolled, but that would be the goal, is a couple months in Mexico. And I'll share more about that in another video, but that would be the goal. Now, whoops, I lost my recipe. Hang on. We're talking a lot. Okay, we need a sip of tea. Okay, so we've got our carrots in here. Now we need raisins. I don't have regular ones, but I have these golden raisins that need to get used. And so they are going in the mix. So this calls for a 1/4 cup of raisins. And you know me, it's gonna be ish-ish, right? No big deal. So a 1/4 cup of raisins. And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of walnuts, but I only have pecans here and they are supposed to be chopped, and I could chop them. So let me grab a cutting board. Okay, check out my cutting board. Can you tell what it is? It's so cute, isn't it? I'm so nerdy. Oh, I got down here and I had to have everything from here. So it says a couple tablespoons of chopped walnuts. Here we go again with kind of ishing it. So I'm just gonna roughly chop, whoa. You know, I hate cutting nuts. You know why? They just fly everywhere. It's so annoying. So yes, anyways, we are planning a trip to Mexico. We will be there for 8 amazing, crazy, wild, busy days. It'll be me and my family will all be going, and we will have the trip of a lifetime. I cannot even believe it. You know how rare it is to get to go on a vacation with your adult kids? I mean, I don't know. Is that rare? It is for me. The last family vacation my family took really as a vacation was in 2018. And my family and I did a road trip from Washington State down to Southern California. And that's as much time as our son could take off. So we ended up dropping him at an airport so he could make his way back home because he had to go back to work while the rest of us finished our trip. It was an anniversary trip for my husband and I. We went to Laguna Beach for our anniversary and spent a few days there while our daughter spent time with family down there. So this will be so different. We have an Airbnb. The whole family's going to stay in it. I will do my best to keep y'all posted. And if you're curious about it, ask questions and I would be happy to answer what I can. Okay, and then the last thing we need in here is cinnamon. And I actually do buy Ceylon cinnamon. This is organic Ceylon cinnamon powder that I do get from Azure Standard. I'm sure you can probably find it online, and I will look for it on Amazon or something and link it. This says 1/2 teaspoon. I think I'm gonna be pretty generous with my 1/2 teaspoon and make it a pretty heaping 1/2 teaspoon because I really like cinnamon, and cinnamon is great for blood sugar, lots of things. It's really good for you. And so I'm actually gonna kind of load it a little bit. So that is everything that's going in here. So yes, my mind is all about prep. How do I get ready for this trip? It's going to be so exciting. The weather's gonna be in the 80s the whole time during the day. Nights will be like in the 40s from what I understand. So I plan to wear a coat while we're on the flights getting down there so that I have a jacket to wear there to keep me warm. And yeah, I don't know, lots going into it. But yes, like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll totally take you on the journey with me as we travel to Mexico. Try to portion this out kind of fairly between the two, not get too much liquid in one and not the other. So we'll kind of go in little spurts here so that they look relatively equal. Oops, that's not equal. I don't know, did I need to measure? No, probably not. But you know, all in the name of science. Haha. I am not a science-minded person. I am a creative person. That is my wheelhouse, not the sciencey things. So when I bake, I don't even bake by the rules. I bake by breaking the rules. So far, so good, thankfully. You guys, this oatmeal looks fantastic. It smells super yum. I think this is gonna be like really, really delicious. You know, I could see adding even an extract besides vanilla in here, such as like a caramel extract, something like that, to kind of boost that kind of cakey flavor. Yeah, and these fit perfectly into these cups. So let's see here. There you go. 2 breakfasts ready to go. I will cover these with plastic, put them in the fridge, and then I will have breakfast tomorrow and Friday. I am so excited. Thank you, of course, for joining me again today. This was a little shorter video. It was a quick and easy video. If you have questions about my Mexico trip or want to know more about that, ask below. I'm also taking Spanish lessons. Anybody else taking Spanish lessons? All right, you guys, thanks again for everything. Thanks for caring about my husband and I during this season, and I will be back with another video very soon. Bye.